Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. Let's see who was here first. Carol Lund, thank you so much for being here first. Elaine Parker, thank you for staying up with us, or maybe a pee break or whatever it is, but we're glad you're here. Um, we're not too fussy. Let's see here. Who else is here? Yalibi, Lydia Washington, MJB, and a host of friends and others. Okay, let me go ahead and put that up there. So, Harry and Meghan in Nigeria, latest update. Media meltdown, British media meltdown, Will and Kate strange photo. Yeah, it seems like more revisionist history, or kind of like they reimagine the photo. I'll let you decide. Anyway, let's get on with it. Uh, shall we? Okay. Oh, there we go. Move a little screen so I can see what you're seeing. Did you guys see Sophie in Ukraine? I'll show you in a little while. She gives new meaning to, well, you'll see. You'll see. Okay. That. All right. Are we good? Yes. Yes. There we go. Okay. Excellent. Excellent. All right. So, let's see here. Elaine Parker, 31 months. Good grief. I didn't know anybody had over 30 months. Oh, thank you so much, Elaine Parker. We're glad you're here too. Thank you. Okay. Thank you so much for being here. I know these are odd hours for you. Let's see. Yeah, that happens sometimes. The wrong emoji. Hey, Black Queen, Gwendolyn Daniels, Ann Gromley. Okay, onward and upward. So this is the latest uh, that we found someone received the American Riviera Orchard. Meghan's bestie, Heavy Doric, is number 7 of 50. Lucky number 7. They say that number is good luck. Number 7. Wow, what an honor to be number 7. It beats being number 13, and we all know who 13 is, right? Number 13, that went to one of the Kardashians. Uh, well, you know what? I always say I'm not superstitious, and yet at the same at the same time, there's certain things I avoid. But yeah, uh, number 7 goes to Heather Doric. All right, let's go to the next slide. There you go. Love you, M. Hashtag, I'm sorry, at American Riviera Orchard. Oh, Elaine Parker, thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you for being a member of Royal Sussex. Also, since I just had my memory stirred, okay. Okay, who sent me a Cash App? Not long ago, I got a Cash App, and I don't want to say the name, but SE sent me a Cash App, and KF, I'm still very, very thankful for the Cash App you sent me yesterday. And oh, SE, I see. Oh, you sent me one yesterday too. Thank you. Thank you very much. Greatly appreciate both of you. All right. So yeah, there you go. That is the new jam or preserve, as some people refer to it. Um, Heather Dorick and Mindy Kaling has found a very unique way to consume hers. I believe she's using, is that a flatbread? Oh, she's using a roti, ROTI. Yes. If you've never had that, that is another version of the flatbread. And I sometimes is the roti is sometimes a sandwich, isn't it? But either way, it's still made with that same bread, which is light and flaky, kind of like a pastry dough. But yeah, it is so good. But the first time I had a roti sandwich, it was from someone from um oh gosh, where were they from? Um well, anyway, that's where they were from. That's where they were from, and it was delicious. So there you go. Gosh, I can't remember the name of it. And you know what? I never remember Tobago, but what is the other country? They're together. Oh man, how could Trinidad? There you go. Oh, how did you guys know? Yeah, Trinidad. I always forget Tobago, but I always remember Trinidad, and oh man, I tell you, I'm getting older. I'm starting to slip with those names more and more. But yes, it was a roti sandwich from Trinidad. And it was just like one of the best things I've ever eaten. And yeah, if you ever saw a Trinidad or Trinidadian restaurant in your neighborhood, try it. Try it. Although mine was homemade, my friend's mom made it, and it was so good. But yes, very good food. All right. So thank you again, everyone, for being here. Next, you can see, oh, I got a little sound bite for you guys. That's what I got coming up next. I got a little sound bite for you. But yeah, so there is Chrissy Teigen and John Legend, and they are being interviewed because of their great luck in having access to American Riviera Orchard. American Riviera Orchard. How blissful is that? Okay, and
you got one of the coveted American Riviera Orchard jams. How was that?
That sandwich was incredible.
And it's numbered like 1 of 50. I'm going to keep it in my fridge forever.
I want that exact sandwich again.
Oh, it was pretty epic.
Again,
you got one of the coveted American Riviera Orchard jams. How was that?
That sandwich was incredible.
And it's numbered like 1 of 50. I'm going to keep it in my fridge forever.
I want that exact sandwich again.
Oh, it was pretty epic.
It was pretty epic. John Legend says, I want that exact sandwich again. Well, listen, as a foodie, I'm here to tell you. I don't know how many times I said to myself, that was delicious. I could eat that entire meal all over again. But again, as I've gotten older, things have changed. I just don't eat as much as I used to. But yeah, I think tomorrow I'm going to try to get a hold of some brie, because if I'm correct, it's made with the brie and the rustic bread, which, believe it or not, I am like holding on to 2 slices of rustic bread, and I'm just in search of brie. So when I get my rustic bread and my brie, I got some of that thick cut Black Forest bacon. I am going to make that sandwich probably tomorrow. Now, unfortunately, I'm going to have to substitute the American Riviera Orchestra Jam or Preserve with my own, whatever that one I told you, the one from France I eat all the time. I just cracked open another jar today. Love that stuff. Although I have to admit, I usually get the raspberry. So I don't know. Maybe I should get the strawberry jam, which is what I usually get when they're out of the raspberry. But the taste is so close. I don't think I really need to bother. The whole point is to get my jam on. So gonna do that. Can't wait for it tomorrow. I'm gonna try that tomorrow afternoon. Yes. Let me see. Oh, did you? Oh, wow. Okay. Well, I hope it was everything that it seems like. Um, so yeah, I hope I'm right. It's just the brie, the jam, the rustic bread, and that thick cut bacon. And you're there. And you're there. I'm gonna try it out. Thank you so much for that. And well, check this out, you guys. This is looks like an official notification if I've ever seen one. Press release. It says Prince Harry and wife Meghan to visit Nigeria in May. So that is the official press release. Didn't see that yesterday, but it looks very cool. Prince Harry, wife. Okay, yeah, the defense headquarters has expressed its honor and delight for the acceptance of the Duke of Sussex, Prince Harry, and his wife, the Duchess of Sussex, Meghan, to visit Nigeria in May 2024. I love it. I love it. So it's official and cannot wait to see them there. Oh, what is that? It says stay in the country. Will be meeting with service members and will be hosted to array of cultural activities. It could be recalled that Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, founded the Invictus Games, an international multi-sporting event which offers recovery pathway for international wounded, injured, and sick servicemen and women. It also gives soldiers an awareness and recognition in society to support their path to rehabilitation. The Invictus Games has about 500 participants at the last outing and 21 nations in attendance, including Nigeria, which made headways with gold and bronze at the first outing last year. The visit is to consolidate Nigeria's stronghold at the Games and the possibility of hosting the event in later years. The Honorable Minister of Defense, Alhaji Mohammed Akbubar Badaru, who was at Germany for last year's event, has accepted to host the games when granted to Nigeria. Very, very cool. Oh, give me a second. You know, that burns my eyes when I'm looking at a black background. It's like oh, that burns. Does that happen to anyone else? When I look at a black background, it just takes me a minute. It's like I can still see the numbers or letters, should I say, when I close my eyes. That is so weird. Okay. I should have known better. Oh, well. I mean, let me get rid of this. I don't want to look at that anymore. Oh, that black background, it stings. Okay. So there you go. Meghan Markle fever builds in Nigeria ahead of May visit. And over here, Punch says Invictus Games, Prince Harry, Meghan Markle to visit Nigeria in May. This is going to be so exciting. Oh, man. I cannot wait. I hope that they don't lose their noodles, or should I say, toss their cookies over there in Britain. They are really becoming unhinged, more so than normal. Yes, TMCD, nothing but love. Anticipation. Anticipation is making me wait. It's making me wait. Yes, the anticipation. That is one of my favorite songs. I love Carly Simon. I am a huge Carly Simon fan. Oh, okay. Let me see here. Bear and I had the Saint Andre triple cream brie with some strawberry jam on French baguette. Gonna get a piece now. Since you said it, want Meg's jam? I hope to get 2 jars. Love jam on croissant. And of course, the good old fashioned peanut butter and jelly. Well, I am going to try to stick to the letter of the law, and I am going to use that rustic loaf. Um, I'm saving these 2 slices. I'm saving them. Um, I hope they're still fresh, but I got them in the refrigerator. But I'm saving them, and I'm gonna grill it in the skillet, just like Chrissy Teigen. So thank you for the hint, though. The Saint Andre triple cream brie. Okay, okay. Now I got some, and I'm not gonna do this. I'm gonna make sure it's brie, but I have to tell you, I do have some Philadelphia cream cheese, but I'm gonna hold out for the brie. I was thinking all day, what's the difference? I could just use some of that Philly, but no, I'm going to hold out for the brie. So thank you so much for the suggestion. Rory, thank you for the super sticker. And thank you as always for watching Royal Sussex. Oh, that sounded really butch that time. Royal Sussex. Okay, so here we go. Nigeria defense official says Prince Harry and his wife Meghan Markle will visit. Yes, I'm telling you, this is all over the interweb. Baron Ann Gromley just lost her beloved lab. Oh no! I'm so sorry to hear that. I'm so sorry to hear that. From time to time, I sit for my friend's canine companion, and I have to tell you, whenever that little girl leaves, I I feel like the house is just the whole energy of the house leaves. So having a companion around is not just therapeutic, but it is. I think if you haven't ever, had a companion like that, or if you, like me, sometimes will babysit, it is just amazing how the whole energy changes. So I'm so sorry to hear that. But we are here for you and we will be praying for you. Thank you, Black Queen. Okay. And oh, remember this guy, right? Chris Ship with a P, not a T. Chris Ship with a P, not a T. Additional confirmation this morning that Meghan will not be joining Harry for the Invictus anniversary service at St. Paul's, London. Uh, but the Duchess of Sussex will join the Duke for the Invictus inspired visit to Nigeria immediately after Harry leaves the UK. And he's only adding to what was said before confirmation of Prince Harry's visit to the UK next month. He will be in London to attend the 10th year Invictus Games anniversary service at St. Paul's, London on the 8th of May, along with Invictus competitors. The Duke of Sussex will give a reading. And actor Damien, what's his name? He'll be there. So if you haven't been to St. Paul's, or if you don't know about it, that is the church where the Sussexes visited last time for the Queen's Jubilee. Remember the Queen's Jubilee, and they had the prayer service? That was at St. Paul's, holds about 2,000 people, I think. And it is right there by the Thames, and that is also famous for where the Princess Diana married that guy back in what, 1981. That was at St. Paul's. It is bigger, and the acoustics are amazing, and lots of history with that church. Great place to visit if you find yourself in London. Yep, definitely a great place to visit. So that is where the service will be taking place at St. Paul's Cathedral. Okay. And by the way, you guys, I was about to go to the next slide, and then I forgot why I put that red thing over there. It says, yes, after Wednesday, I don't think they come under my brief anymore. Remember that? Chris Ship said, after Wednesday, I don't think they come after my brief anymore. Well, only for Chris Ship to have to eat those words. Meghan and Harry back in Europe together for the first time since leaving royal family as they both head to Invictus Games. What was that? That was the Netherlands in The Hague this week. So, yeah, he said out of his own mouth that he wasn't going to talk about them anymore. They won't come under my brief anymore, right? And of course, people reminded him of his words. They kind of spoon fed it right back to him when he was talking about them going to The Hague. So that was fun. Okay. And let me see. Is it Sabri Brew? Thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you. Oh, you have a membership. Wow, that is so cool. Thank you for being a member of Royal Sussex. And Iris Demonia. It is, let me see, gifted one Royal Sussex membership. Oh, thank you so much for that. You know, I still don't know what that means. But I really appreciate it. I still don't know how that works. Every time I see that, I'm just like, oh, thank you. What is that? But I still don't know how that works. But I know it means that somebody gets a membership courtesy of you. So thank you so much. That is very kind of you. And I really do appreciate your constant support for Royal Sussex. All right. So, of course, keeping the thing of making fun of Chris Ship with a P, not a T. One of these days, I'm going to say that wrong. But do you know how book tours work? Karen Ship, call yourself a journalist. You should be calling a manager somewhere. And of course, Chris Ship, you know, I don't hate him. I actually feel kind of sorry for him sometimes because he seems like he is a bit stressed. Yeah, he just, I don't know. He has the tension on his face sometimes when he's trying to report. And I think for the most part, he's at least trying to appear to be very fair and balanced, even though sometimes he really puts his foot in his mouth. But I tell you what, Chris Ship makes a ugly broad, doesn't he? That's not a woman, that's a broad. If you were actually inclined to open up a dictionary, or if you Google broad, let me know if you see that photo, okay? Because I'm telling you, that is an old broad right there. Wasn't there a television show called Broad with oh, what was her name? Um God, what is it with me and names these days, right? But the Golden Girl. I think that B. Arthur. B. Arthur. There you go. B. Arthur. Yeah. If that ain't a chip off the old broad. But yeah, I think there was a television show called Broad, and it starred B. Arthur, right? And then there's Broad. And then there's Broad. And then there's Broad. And then there's Broad. And then there's Never Gonna Talk About the Sussexes After Wednesday, right on Broad. Yes, there you go, Broad. Leg says every article is always trying to tie that family to Harry and Meghan, yet we always hear them whinging and moaning that Harry and Meghan are using royal connections. Hear, 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 hear. You hear them say that out of their mouths that Harry and Meghan are they only come over here because they have to reinforce those royal connections. They're monetizing their proximity to the royal family. When the truth is, as wisely mentioned by Legs, it's the other way around. They are the ones that keep tying themselves to the Sussexes. Just like anytime Harry, if there's any notion Harry is coming to the UK, the first thing they do is to try to make William relevant by saying William won't allow it, William won't see him, William is not talking to him. And the thing is, I know Harry is not likely to ever say, "Oh, I hope I could see my brother." That's all done with. It's been too soon. They're going to need more time. And if that relationship is important to Harry, then I hope that someday that things will improve. But for the time being, it just it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I believe when they will possibly find something to talk about is whenever Charles crosses over to the other side. And even then, it may not be possible because William is so mean and cruel and stubborn. Who knows if it'll be possible then? But whatever the case, Harry's doing just fine, and he's not even like he's working. He's there for work. He's not there to try to mend fences with his brother. So, right on, Broad. Thank you again, Lex. And then there's Broad. That's one beastly looking broad, isn't it? That is one beastly looking broad. Okay. Oh, anyway, let me get rid of this truck stop waitress. So, from Britain, Meghan, you're not welcome here, right? They have said, stay away from Britain, Meghan. You're not welcome here. Amanda Playtell, that was one of the headlines. You're not welcome here. And of course, you guys, we have to remember the person who's written the article, they are not the ones that create the headlines. That is part of the editorial process. But whoever thinks it up, still the words that they use, unfortunately, that is the face of Britain. And one of these days, I hope that people will take a stand and say, listen, you cannot represent our country like that. But the face of Britain via its notorious media, and it did not start with Meghan. It did not start with Meghan. The British tabloid media has quite a reputation for the way they tend to treat people, how they use dog whistles and bend the truth and When that doesn't work, they just flat out lie. But even when the Queen died, the tabloid media made the country look like a bunch of savages. And of course, I cannot stress this enough. That is not Britain. That is not Britain. Most British people don't give a toss about that family. They're like Sophie's dress. They're just wallpaper. They're wallpaper. Let's say you go to the Louvre and you have some hideous wallpaper, and it includes like roses that are still budding and preparing to bloom. And yet, every time you go in there, those same little roses on that wallpaper hasn't bloomed yet, right? Well, it's the same for the royal family. No matter what happens, it is very rare that they are truly, truly relevant. But they struggle, and they really depend on the soap opera to get people to notice them. Whatever they say, they need the soap opera. They need the chaos. But the tabloids are creating an image for an entire country that is just so awful. But that is not Britain. That is not what I experienced. So it's really too bad. It's unfortunate that that is the way things are. But and then just like things like, for instance, racism. I'm sure racism didn't start with Britain, but that is like one of the best kept exports that they've ever had. The certain laws and the way that you know it's been an example to the world, and still the legacy of those things continue today. And so it's just really too bad. But articles like this, headlines like, stay away, you're not welcome. Or how about during the coronation, they made a big deal about where they were going to seat the Sussexes, and Kate is going to make sure that Meghan's no. That's not helping Kate. If they want to protect Kate, putting words in her mouth, which is about the only way you're going to get anything out of her, but putting words in her mouth is not going to help. It just doesn't help. So I hope this madness ends someday, somehow, some way. But right now, it's profitable, and they just don't have a reason to stop because it doesn't cost them anything. It just makes money for them. So just remember that, you guys. I know that things like this are very frustrating. And of course, this is an old article. This is not a new article. I don't want you to go looking for it like it's new. It's an old article, but it's there to remind people that when they're crying the blues because Meghan is likely to snub the country, which is the nation of birth for her husband, it's because of how bad she was treated by the tabloid press. The tabloid media, they were trying to destroy her the same way they were, tried to and possibly succeeded destroying Princess Diana. Because no matter what they say about Monsieur Henri or, whatever, however they try to paint it, the bounty that was placed on Princess Diana was a bounty that was created by the British tabloid media. They wanted those photos, and they wanted those photos bad. And because of those photos, because of that bounty, the people's princess is no longer here. And that is the face that they are showing the world. So right here, and as if it's well, yesterday, Dr. Shola was one of the first people to speak out about this headline. Sussex is on safari, right? Non-working royals Harry and Meghan will tour Commonwealth nation Nigeria. And instantly, when I saw Commonwealth nation, I said, oh, they're going there. They are going there. That's insulting. That is insulting. Nigeria gained its independence years ago, decades ago. But yet, the face of a nation, because we don't see Charles every day, and he doesn't talk about stuff like this. We don't see Rishi Sunak every day, and he doesn't speak about things like this. But yet, what serves as a face for an entire country, which, I hate saying that, but this is what the world sees, is an insult to Nigeria. They are insulting Nigeria, Commonwealth nation Nigeria. That's like saying dependent child, unemployed dependent child of so-and-so, basement dwelling, food stamp using, EBT card acquired son of so-and-so. You know what I mean? Like it's some kind of dependent. There's about 200 million people in Nigeria, the largest population in Africa, right? It's an economic powerhouse. And yet they're being referred to as Commonwealth nation Nigeria. Let me tell you something. As an American, it's something I learned years ago. When it comes to academics, some of the smartest people I know are either from Nigeria or from Ghana. You best believe. So pretty soon, people are going to definitely have to show a little bit more respect, a lot more respect. They should, and very soon they will. So they're only hurting themselves. Actually, they're not. They're actually hurting a whole country of people with nonsense like this. Not very cordial. So after being invited by government to take part in cultural activities days after Harry's UK Invictus event, so will Meghan join him in Britain first? Will Meghan join him in Britain first? Well, if you consider, I don't know, headlines like this and all of the others, probably not. Probably not. There's a whole world out there that does not involve, and it's not that I believe that there's any average person that is going to come for Meghan, but headlines like this, it actually inflames the crazy people, to put it mildly. It inflames the people that want to do harm, right? And that's the thing, as Meghan said in the docuseries, you're making people want to harm me. I don't feel safe. But because they make money from this, because there's no law against it, they just keep doing it. They keep doing that. It doesn't matter the struggles with mental health. It doesn't matter that this is a mom of two. Doesn't matter all of the good in the world that the Sussexes have done, that Meghan has done even before she married into that family. The whole point of it is cruelty. Cruelty seems to be the point. So it's very, very unfortunate. So Dr. Shola said yesterday, safari in Nigeria, this isn't lazy ignorance, it's plain racist ideology. The idiots who think Africa is a country, not a continent, are the same who think Africa is synonymous with safari and are from the school of thought that African nations are tribes. Same fools labeled 50 million plus Yorubas and 35 million plus equals as tribes, but Scotland with 5 million, plus Finland with 5 million as nations. The ideology of whiteness is a sickness. That is the words of Dr. Shola. I don't disagree. I don't disagree. Although I would have said white supremacy, but that's the idea of white supremacy, is that you have to tear down and belittle everybody else. You have to other people, no matter how numerous they are, no matter how accomplished they are, you other them. You make them less than. You create a what do you call it? An identity for them that identifies them as pretty much not white, not one of us. So yeah, there's good reasons to just skip it. And as much as I would love to see Meghan there, I'm really relieved that she's not going. Yeah, I'm relieved. So, Washington Post opinion: British racism is often coy and coded, but when it comes to Meghan, there was no need to read between the lines. And that's another one of those old articles, but very true. It has been true for a long time. And in spite of the fact that most people in the Commonwealth look more like Meghan than most members of the royal family, they keep doing it. They keep doing it. The Commonwealth could not be that important to Britain. It could not be that important to the royal family if nobody pushes back, if nobody takes a stand and say, listen, gotta stop doing this stuff. This type of language on the world stage, I don't know any place else where people do that. I would be shocked if an American paper carried on like that. Bring an embarrassment to the head of state when foreign heads of state are visiting. There seems to be no limit to it. There's nothing too low. I was embarrassed for Britain when Joe Biden came to visit last time. I was embarrassed for them. I was embarrassed the way they carried on. And I mean, it was so, we need a trade deal. We need a trade deal. Apparently not. You don't need a trade deal, especially from a president whose mother wouldn't sleep in a hotel, rather sleep on the floor than to sleep in a bed that she thought the Queen used. Oh, make it make sense. Is it Nano? Let me see. The tabloids are bad enough, but when Charles said to Harry, "Don't bring her," when the Queen died, was hurtful. Thank you so much, Nano. And that I absolutely, absolutely, and to the point where Harry had to pretty much chew him out. You know, you would think that after 70 years on the throne, there would be other things to discuss, but don't bring your wife. You know, especially when people love each other, we are one. We're a unit. We're not, you know, you can have one and not the other. You take both or nothing at all. Yeah, that was pretty bad. That was pretty bad. And for Charles, um, you know, whatever his problem is right now, and I'm not even gonna, you know, start saying karma, karma, and karma, and more karma, but they're just little things that he could have managed about the way he has conducted himself, and not just with Harry and Meghan. But this goes all the way back to um, the little thing that they pulled to get Diana, that I'm trying not to use that word. The word that starts with G, but the way that she was coerced into um, talking to him in the first place, um, I that's as far back as I can go with Charles and his very questionable behavior. And so the fact that when he does make his transition, I don't think that there's going to be a lot of people that feel sorry for him. I don't think that many people are feeling that much compassion for him now. But he seems to be okay with that. You know the old saying, would you rather be feared or what is that? Is it fear or loved or loved or I mean, was it feared or respected? Anyway, he doesn't care if there's a lack of respect for him. He could not possibly care. He's in a bubble and he doesn't see what the rest of the world sees. And he seems to be okay with that. What he's done with his children, what he's done with Princess Diana, it is just awful. And if all of that is done and you seem to be okay with having a single cheerleader, and that, of course, is the Queen cohort, then I guess that's his standard. He has a very low standard for being loved. What an awful person. Awful, awful. And it's just the more you know about Charles, the more he seems um like just someone that is easy to despise, easily despised. Awful person. And to think that his own child um has been treated so badly, not just by him, but you turned the whole institution against your child, taking away his security, just like you did his mother. Wow. Wow. But anyway, thank you, Neno. Okay, and let's see. Dedra, thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you so much for being here. And as always, for watching Royal Sussex. And Red Lady says it's baffling that the bullying continues. People just follow blind. The real shame is royal family knows and uses the ignorance of these people against Meghan and Harry. Yeah, with that, it seems to be no boundary to it. There's never a point where they say, you know what, that is too much. You've gone too far. Harry complains about someone leaking information, a subordinate, an employee, a royal aide to the family. And so not only did William choose the institution over his brother, but his father chose the institution over his son. And the rest of the family, because they are, you know, drinking from the same pool, they just keep their mouth shut and they're just glad nobody's looking at them. I mean, a complete family of cowards. They all wear those uniforms like they're so courageous, but they're all cowards. They're all cowards. You couldn't get one of them to speak up or to speak out to defend anyone else in the family. Not one of them. And yet they marched him out on the balcony and pretend to be this cohesive group of individuals that were ordained and their birthrights. And what a bunch of losers. But thank you so much, Red Lady. And thank you for being a member of Royal Sussex. And of course, one of the squaddies posted this today to remind us of the dog whistles and the vitriol, like with the avocado. And of course, referring to Meghan as vulgar for wearing that one shoulder out dress. When of course, of all people, the Immaculate Heart of Kate has worn several of those, right? And I do believe, doesn't Queen Elizabeth have a couple of frocks like that she's worn? And of course, touching your stomach while pregnant. All of those things were deeply offensive to the sensibility of Britain, and she should have been driven out of the country that very same day. With Kate, it was a tender touching of her stomach. With Meghan, how come she can't keep her hands off her bump? Her bump? Wow. Okay. So, this is fun though. And of course, what I like about it is, just in case there's anyone um, in all of Africa or even in Nigeria that don't know much about the story of Harry. It looks like they're shipping a book down there. Hopefully, they'll ship a lot of them down there. When it comes to highly anticipated new releases, we'll take the time to read them before sending them to Africa. So there's something called Books to Africa UK, where they actually ship books down to Africa, big pallets of books, big bound boxes of books. And I remember this from some time ago when I think I made a video about it. I think I did one of my short videos. But as you can see right there, Prince Harry's donated book spare has finally arrived at its new home at the Air Force Girls Military School in, what is it, Jos, Nigeria? The officers were delighted to receive this book and are eager to draw lessons from Harry's life and career in the military. Yes, go Harry. So yeah, but it is, Spare is one of the most recommended books of the past year or two, because the message from the book is so universal, especially if there's anyone who is struggling with coming of age, which is why we all know that it is going to make a great movie. There are some people that will read the book and just wait for the movie. There's some people that won't read the book and they're going to just wait for the movie. But either way, I want you all to have that to look forward to, because there's going to be a movie coming. You just know there's going to be a movie. And if made the right way, if they can do the proper screen adaptation, right, from that book, it is going to be awesome. The big problem is going to be casting someone to play Harry. Whatever you do, don't let those people who made The Crown do any casting. Whoever does the casting for Crown, keep them away from Spare, the movie. Do not let them near Spare, the movie, because the last time those people from The Crown had to do some casting, well, we know what happened. They, no offense to that actor, but he had a bit of a jackal face, and that Dumb and Dumber haircut that they gave him did not help. He reminded me of that movie Dumb and Dumber. Remember that movie? That's what that haircut looked like. Like someone took a bowl and stuck it on top of someone's head and just cut across with a pair of scissors. Don't ever do that again. That was bad. That was really, really bad. I mean, that poor actor. I'm sure that in real life he doesn't look like that. I hope in real life he doesn't look like that. But oh my goodness, he had a face like a jackal. Oh, he had a face like a jackal, frightening face. I mean, a face that would haunt your dreams. Face. Wow, I wish I could find that video. And I know I made one for yep. But God knows I don't remember the title. So we won't be seeing it today. Yeah, I don't remember the title. Wait, what is this one? Okay. I know that's not it. All righty then. Let us continue then. So these are just a few things that I saved from the Invictus games in Dusseldorf. Like right there, Meghan had one particular sweet encounter when she met with Nigerian athlete Gloria Essien, prompting the Duchess to exclaim, "You're my Nigerian sister," as she squealed with delight and embraced Glory. And then here in the middle, you can see a big shout out goes to our Nigerian defense advisor based in Berlin, Colonel Agu Rende. You have been amazing so far, sir. And then here in that extremely small print, oh man, in that extremely small print, let me see what I can do with that. Oh, Meghan reveals family holiday plans, speaking to Hello, Derek Kobina, who helped coordinate the debut of Nigeria in this year's games. And he revealed that Meghan is hoping for a family trip to Nigeria. She said she couldn't wait to visit Nigeria for her mom and kids. Wow, is that a clue right there? He revealed Derek also confirmed that Meghan was left deeply touched by the nickname that the Nigerian team bestowed upon her. Given the reasoning behind their team chant for the Duchess, which is in the post below, she's always welcome to visit Nigeria and other African countries, he sweetly commented. So yeah, that was how long have I had that? I guess from when they were in what am I saying, in Dusseldorf. So there you go. And let me see here. Okay, Federal Minister of Defense. Yes, Boris Pistorius, Federal Minister of Defense, Germany. Bill Nelson. And Bill Nelson, okay, they said that twice. NASA Administrator with Mohammed Bandaru Abu Bakr. Let me see. Anyway, the defense minister from Nigeria. So look at the kind of people Harry brings together. Look at the kind of people Harry brings together. I remember that. That was very cool. And here. So not unusual for Harry to just, he's so cool and so relaxed around anybody. Nothing phases this guy. Britain's Prince Harry, Duke of Sussex, reacts as he attends the wheelchair rugby Canada versus New Zealand match in the 2023 Invictus Games in Dusseldorf. Oh, very cool. So yeah, some of these are what I saved from before. Okay, and there we go. Oh yeah, got another soundbite for it. Yeah, I do. Let me get that going here. Okay.
Easy way. A Nigerian was incredibly excited to sit down with Ziwe, a Nigerian American comedian, actress, and writer. I just had my genealogy done a couple years ago. What? What are you? 43% Nigerian.
No way! No, whoa, Jacqueline. Oh my gosh, are you really serious?
Yeah.
This is huge. Igbo, Yoruba, do we know?
So I mean, I'm going to start to dig deeper into all this because anyone that I've told, especially Nigerian women, are just like,
What? This is huge for our community. No, honestly, you do look like a Nigerian. You look like my Aunt Uzo. So this is great.
oh my goodness, Uzo.
Shout out. Ziwe, happy to be here today.
I was incredibly excited to sit down with Ziwe, a Nigerian American comedian, actress, and writer. I just had my genealogy done a couple years ago.
What?
What are you? 43% Nigerian.
No way! No, whoa!
All right. So there you go. There you go. And with that, we are going to see our Duchess, Madam Duchess, make our way to Nigeria so she can be with her peeps, with her folks. And take a look here. Thank you to the squatty that put together this collage. And this, of course, is just a portion of the coverage of this trip so far. And of course, you can see there it was trending 17,900 something posts. Woo! Wow. Very impressive. Super, super impressive. Oh, yeah. So Meghan took a DNA test. Oh, I missed that one. Let me go back. Missed that one. There we go. Meghan Markle took a DNA test, and it turns out she's 43% Nigerian. The fact is how she kicked off her conversation with Nigerian-American comedian Ziwe for the 7th episode of her podcast, Archetypes. Meghan added, I'm going to start to dig deeper into all of this because anybody that I've told, especially Nigerian women, are like, what? According to Spotify spokesman, Archival Foundation is also making a donation to Save the Children and UNICEF Nigeria to support communities in Nigeria affected by devastating recent floods. Very, very cool. And then over here on the right, the person that shared that collage made the comment, the global world says, we see you, Prince Harry and Princess Meghan. We know who you are. We never believed the noise, never looked at it. We know truth when we see it. You're welcome to all the countries. Look at God showing up and showing out. That's what he does. Jesus is in control. They get a bell for that. They're going to get a bell for that. Now, when it comes to genealogy, one of the things that I didn't realize, but I found out, is on the left side is a newer DNA test, or actually it's not a newer test. I think it's the same test, but over time, as they have done more samples, they're more precise about the numbers, right? So at some point, I've had a common ancestor in Cameroon, Congo, Western Bantu people, 21%. I've also had a common ancestor in Mali of 20%, Nigeria, 19%. Now, take a look on the right. You can see at one time that common ancestry in Nigeria, they said it was 29%. So again, as they sample more people, they become more precise with their figures. So I don't know how to explain it other than that, except that, you know, it changes. But still, in principle, it's the same percentage. It's divided differently because of the common ancestry that they encounter. So if you look all the way down at the bottom, actually second from the bottom on the right, you can see France over there on the right side. But according to the left side, I don't have any French ancestry. So you know, it's the way it is. But yeah, so if you've taken a DNA before, you should go back and check it again because they do update it once they have more information. You see, the more samples they get, the more precise that they can trace your heritage. So um, yeah. Well, and you know what? I see that there's a bit of Irish and Scottish, and on one side, the other one you see England and northwestern Europe. But on the right side, they say 12%. Well, okay, I see the Welsh. And okay, oh, all right. So anyway, that's me. That's me. So, um, your DNA looks most like DNA of 10 world regions. Oh, cool. All right. So just thought I'd share that with you. I think I've shared this before, but there you go. Although I'm kind of bummed out, only 2% Ghana. Oh, well, see, Ivory Coast and Ghana on the other side is 11%. So, oh well, it's okay. Thank you, Yulibi. I'll see you at the family reunion. Yeah, I'll see you at the family reunion. Wow, mostly French and Ukrainian. Oh, very cool. Okay. All right, let's move on then. And of course, we'll be seeing a lot of this in the coming days. That, of course, the colors of the Nigerian flag. And if you've wondered what those colors mean, what do the colors of the Nigerian flag mean? Well, the Nigerian national flag is divided vertically with 3 equal parts. The central part is white, and the 2 other parts are green. The green of the flag represents agriculture, and the white, unity and peace. The white is immaculate white, and the emerald green is popularly known as Nigerian green. Now, of course, recollections may vary. Like, for instance, here's another one. It says the flag of the Federal Republic of Nigeria was designed in 1959 and first officially hoisted on October the 1st, 1960. The flag has 3 vertical bands of green, white, and green. The 2 green stripes represent natural wealth, and the white represents peace and unity. So, see there? It already changed just by moving to the next one. Cynthia, thank you so much for being here. And thank you for the super sticker. And of course, I don't know what our Duchess is going to wear, but I love her. I don't know who this is, but I just love her. I mean, she's just giving you like power. She is walking, giving you that power. This is someone who knows themselves, right? Very cool. Thank you again, Cynthia, and thank you for watching Royal Sussex. Or what do you think about these outfits, Black Queen? So seeing that I mean, it's not an official royal trip of any sort, but still she is a princess of the realm. And I doubt if an exposed midriff is in the cards. And of course showing that much leg, I'm not sure. But we'll see how it goes. All right. Prince Harry and Meghan to go to Nigeria for Invictus Games. Oh, yep. We know that. And again, Sussex is on safari. Over here on the left, KP must be going nuts. And you may remember this guy. He's from, what do you call it? He's from TikTok. And of course, as per usual, he had a thing to say. And I'm going to share it with you. And I'm going to share it with you. You know, I've been doing very good with I'm going to share it with you. Let me see if my luck is holding out. Sometimes I think I saved something and I don't know where it went. Okay, and this seems like one of those times. Got it. Oh no, that's not it. There we go.
Non-working royals, Kensington Palace flunkies, PR junkies, whatever we're going to call them. They must be incandescent with rage this morning as the gift that keeps on giving. And by the way, this article has now been removed on the standard page and the royal page. Why is that? As the gift that keeps on giving reports that Harry and Meghan have been invited as non-working royals by Nigeria to take part in some cultural activities. I think this is absolutely great. So Nigeria and Nigeria's political heads of state are recognizing the value that Harry and Meghan can bring to their country. Now, whether you like Harry and Meghan or not, and whether you believe some of the absolute that's written about them or not, you've got to admit, Nigeria and Nigerians must love them to give them this invitation. And I just think it's quite telling that the same courtesy, the same type of invitation hasn't been extended to any working royals by the same country or others in Africa. Invictus Games coming up. This looks interesting. Definitely using their media influence to shine a light on the things that we need to talk about as reasonable, rational human beings. How countries work together, what we do with people when they're injured. War is a terrible thing. Let's try and knock it on the head. All the things that we need to talk about. Comments are open. What do you think?
All right. So, again, that is our friend from the TikTok. Let me see. And his channel is called Ministry of Hacks UK. So if you want to see him on TikTok, it's Ministry of Hacks UK. Ministry of Hacks UK. And he always socks it to the royal family. Okay. Oh, okay, what did I do? All right. And there we go. I am pinning a Sussex friendly space at the top of the chat. Love Wins Movement is not just someone who has been very supportive to Royal Sussex, but you could also find a Sussex friendly space. So I always encourage everyone to support all of these Sussex friendly spaces. So when there's good news like this, we always have some place to go, some place where we don't have to try to filter through all the negativity and opinions and all that nonsense. Thank goodness. Thank goodness for this community, right? Don't have to filter through all that stuff. And of course, Prince Harry and Meghan to visit Nigeria. That is the Associated Press. The Associated Press. And you know they have coverage all over. It is a very trusted name when it comes to sharing information. And as in the old days, they used to get those stories off the wire. You know, the old teletype would have those updates come in, and then the news bureaus and such. Well, nowadays, everything is online, and still, Associated Press is one of the more credible names in journalism. And let us not forget our lovely Dr. Shola. Dr. Shola is a British Nigerian activist, political commentator, author, and lawyer. She is a qualified New York attorney and solicitor of England, Wales, a regular speaker on women's rights, law, politics, diversity, inequity, and exclusion. And yes, she is a Scorpio, I think. Born in Hackney, London, England. Wow. University of Buckingham, University of Westminster, London School of Economics. You know what? I'm starting to think that she's a high achiever. You know, if she keeps at this, she's going to go really far. Birkbeck University of London, PhD. Wow. And of course, University of Cambridge. She has an MBA. And let me see, what is she? British Nigerian? I told you. Didn't I tell you? Didn't I tell you? People from Nigeria and Ghana, they very smart. High achievers. Right? Me too. Me too. So you know that the what do you call it? The derangers are going to be beside themselves because Dr. Shola is going to rub it in. Oh, okay, Lydia. I will pin that at the top of the chat. Glad I caught that. There we go. Okay. And this is one of my favorite photos. You know, sometimes I don't need a reason to save things. I just do because, well, they remind me of a thing, or maybe it's something that makes me happy, you know, whatever. And this always makes me feel warm inside. Great photo. Nurses from Nigeria who've never seen snow enjoying snow for the first time while working in a Knightsbridge Hospital, Belfast. And look at there. I've been saving this since January of 2023. How cool is that? Don't you love it? They are enjoying their first snow. Their first snow. Now that is fun. That is fun. No wonder I've had to buy more memory. All of my storage is full of things that just make me happy. Now, Kensington Palace has released a previously unseen photograph of the Prince and Princess of Wales to mark their 13th wedding anniversary. The image was taken by Millie Pilkington. Ugh. Pickleton. Yeah, from Pickleton. What a weird name. Pilkington. Yeah, you heard her. Inside Buckingham Palace. Anyway, there are some people, not me, of course, but there are some people who thinks that William has too much hair for this to be an authentic photo, as though it has been photoshopped. I mean, oh man, I don't have a good picture of the top of his head, but because you know what, the next one that I got is, let me see here. they kind of cut it off there, but still you can see it looks a little extra thick. So I don't know. And it's cool because this is before Kate's mouth went askew, right? This is you know how they say so and so was born in 20 AD. Well, let me see. This is a photo from 2011. 2011. Wait a minute. This photo was taken in 2011 BA. BA means before mouth askew. Yeah. Wait, no. Before, BMA. Yeah, this was taken in 2011 BMA, before mouth askew. Yes, it was taken in 2011 BMA, before mouth askew. So that's how you can tell what period those photos are from, because there's BMA after BMA, and never mind. Let me just move on. So here's another little sound bite for you. This has to do with that whole notion about British tourism, right? And tourism and the royal family. What a farce. Tourism and the royal family. Okay.
Welcome to the show.
Hi there.
What would you like to say, Alex?
Well, I'll be up front. I'm a member of Republic who campaigns for an elected head of state. Obviously, there's many subjects I could touch on, but the one I really wanted to hit today was what I call the tourism myth.
Yes.
There is no evidence that they provide any benefit of tourism. Versailles gets 20 times the amount of visitors that Buckingham Palace gets per annum, and Windsor Castle isn't even the most popular tourist destination in Windsor, which of course is Legoland. And the thing is, even if there was any truth in it, what serious country decides their constitutional arrangements based on the whims of tourists? It's a joke.
Alex, let me just clarify that. And of course, as you said, and thank you for being upfront, you're part of Republic, which would like to see the royal family removed and us to go into a republic. That's a conversation for another day. Are you saying that we don't have any evidence of the royal family bringing in any money at all, any income at all to the UK? Are you saying that people don't come here in order to see the changing of the guards or to go to the Buckingham Palace or to Windsor?
If there is any, I mean, I know that Republic is an organisation engaged with Visit Britain a few years ago, and they could provide no evidence whatsoever. There was a crazy study done by an organisation called Brand Finance a few years ago that attributed, I think it was 500 million. Even if that was true, again, no evidence. The overall value of tourism in this country, I think last time I looked, is 123 billion. So again, even the wildest claims possible are negligible against the overall value of tourism.
So Versailles has not seen a royal family in who knows how long. And there's always a competition between London and Paris when it comes to tourists. They're about equal. But when you take an entire nation, Italy and I think France is 1, Italy is 2, or maybe it's the other way, but Italy, Spain, and France, they get the most tourists in Europe. Period. They get the most. And Buckingham Palace, Windsor Castle, neither of those come close to Versailles. Not at all. And the idea that people are coming that far to see the changing of the guards or the trooping of the colors, all that kind of stuff, it's already the height of the tourist season. So they're going to be there anyway. And just think how many people have been in Britain their whole life and didn't even know that there was a trooping of the colors or didn't know any of those things exist. So, and believe me, with the rail prices, what they are, it would prohibit people from wanting to go to London and see something like that. So it just doesn't hold water. And also there was an article around the time of the coronation where people were surprised at how many heads of state, I'm sorry, not heads of state, but how many people invited to the whatever it was, the coronation, how many other royals, even though they were, deposed like the Greek royal family, but yet they show up. You have the Duke of Orleans, who considers himself having the rightful claim to the French throne. And he still, he considers himself not the king, of course, but if there ever was a time, he'd be the one. So he says. So they can get rid of the royal family without them losing their titles, without them losing most of their land and property and such. But the taxpayers will not have to foot that bill, which I believe is in excess of 350 million pounds. And they said that when they calculated again, it could easily go over 400 million pounds. But that 120 million pound number that you hear, that's just not accurate. Now consider how much that institution costs and how infrequent are the appearances of Prince William. Charles is nowhere around. And now they're trying to make this big deal about Sophie being, I'll get to that. But there's no truth to it.
To the country's economy. It's like I say, it's no justification. It's anyone who says we should have a monarchy because of tourism is reducing us to the status of a glorified Disneyland. It's indefensible.
Okay, Alex, I know both Nina and
I was going to say I'm fascinated by that, but also I want to say that the monarchy reigns by the will of the people. And if the people have gone off them to the certain
But they
extent,
haven't yet.
but the reason we're discussing is because the figures are down, and that's the important thing. And the monarchy has to be seen to exist. That's what the Queen always said. And there aren't enough to be seen. So we haven't even started on Prince Andrew.
Okay.
There's all sorts of disasters that have happened.
I don't know.
Lynn, what do you make of what Alex was saying?
This tourism idea that whenever they put on a huge event, there are thousands, if not millions of people, as the previous caller said, who tune in, who actually fly here.
But that happens occasionally. It's not even an annual event.
When I visit other countries, especially the Commonwealth, a part of them wanting to come here is just knowing that the royal family is.
A lot of people would like to come from other parts of the Commonwealth, but the only way that people in other parts of the Commonwealth can come is if they get a visa. They don't have free right of passage if you come from a country that's mostly brown. Am I correct about that? Right? You can see your Benin bronzes, but you got to get the permission to travel first.
Yeah, I know people often have this argument, they'd still come and see the buildings. It's the idea that the royal family with so much history.
Let me tell you something. It doesn't mean anything to me to know that the Queen Mother is sitting on a toilet somewhere in the loo, sucking on a gin and tonic. It doesn't matter to me that the Queen Mother might be on the toilet, sucking on a gin and tonic. And oh my goodness, I have to get as close to her as possible. How much are those tickets? I wouldn't care. It doesn't matter. Or that Philip might come zipping through an intersection without even slowing down or yielding to the oncoming traffic. Yeah. Okay, now I would pay to see that. I would I would pay good money to see Prince Philip break somebody else's arm. That I would pay for. If I thought that I if I thought that I could see Prince Philip T-bone another car, I would pay money for that. Yeah. Sure I would. But anything else, I am totally opposed to it. You hear me? So yeah, I
Bigger than any other, really, in modern history, is actually still living and here when they come to Britain.
Okay.
They could still be living in here on far less money.
I agree with that.
One
I
last
do.
question for Alex. Alex, in the cost of the monarchy, we know that we pay 125 million quid there or thereabouts for the sovereign grant. Do we calculate as well within that the cost of policing when they do their visits to local places to open a sports centre? Is that all costed in?
No, it's not. The sovereign grant's only a small proportion. I mean, I know Republic are working on updated figures. The last figures, I think, from about 7 years ago, gave an annual cost of 345 million a year.
Right.
Obviously, with the recent increase in sovereign grant, it's going to be up above 400 probably next time it's calculated.
see the next time they calculate the sovereign grant, it is going to exceed 400 million pounds. And for that, you have this aging royal family that doesn't go much further than 15 miles outside of their place of residence. I don't see the value for money. And the whole idea of charities, let me tell you the big thing about the charities that I think is such a silly notion, that the charities are somehow benefiting from the royal family. How in the world do countries like, let's say, the United States, how do we manage to fund our charities? How do we open up hospital wings? How do we start the agricultural shows or the horse races? How do we do all those things without some member of the royal family present? We just get on with it. That's how we do it. That's how we do it. You just get on with it. So the Queen said, I have to be seen to be believed. That goes for the rest of the family. They better get out there because they are slowly but surely becoming more irrelevant by the day. By the day. Kate is missing and nobody cares. William is missing most of the time and nobody cares. There's nobody clamoring to see any of them. You just have those royal reporters on television trying to tell people what they think, right? Brainwashing people, gaslighting people. They have a backstory to everything to do with the royal family. The sad part is most of it is not true. It is just not true. All of the good things that they say that those people are, most of them are not. It's just a made up storyline. The agent of disinformation. Now, I told you yesterday, she was saying that Mike Tyndall was given a high position in the Invictus games, right? Or that they're going to move Harry out and move him in, right? And yet, when you try to click on that link today, sorry, we can't find the page you're looking for. Somebody must have made a phone call. We are unable to find the page that you're looking for. I wonder what happened. Because it was made up. It was all made up. That delusional, well, okay. If you recall, when she made up something before. People said, "Are you drunk?" Then they also said Angela Levin is a liar. Angela Levin is evil. And then, of course, not in my book, lying piece of crap. And then lastly, are you making up words? This wasn't in the book. Did you forget your meds again, Angela? That was in reference to something she made up about Spare. I know that there's an audience for her, but they got to get her off of television. This is beyond embarrassing. It's not even it makes no sense. She just makes up stuff. And while I do have a good laugh about it, well, you know what? Let them put her on, because eventually these television stations that have moved over to the YouTube, the next stop is completely off the air. So yeah, there you go. Which is why I have referred to this writer in the past as Hagatha Christie. Don't you call me Hagatha. Who are you calling a hag? You don't call me. You have an agenda. I know what you want. You have an agenda. If that's the way you're gonna, you have an end for me. I'm leaving. Don't you call me a hag. Okay, Hagatha Christie. But yeah, she's a gifted writer, this one. Hagatha Christie, writing her next novel. And as for as for Nana, this is her usual response. Ugh, ugh, ugh. Ugh. Time can be a great healer. Time can be a great healer. So it's difficult to be certain, but it really does look as if Meghan has no plans to return to the United Kingdom. No, she ain't coming back. Ever. She ain't ever coming back. So you can forget it. Unless somebody is about to take a dirt nap, she won't be back. So I hope, and I hope, and I hope. I know that nobody is expecting her to be there next week, and I hope she doesn't come. It's Piers Morgan, ITV snub to Piers. Well, you guys remember that ITV has snubbed Piers in the past when he was trying to get his job back. Piers Morgan takes aim at Good Morning Britain as he is snubbed in a post celebrating their 10 best presenters. As he says, did Meghan Markle ask you to mention me? I'm sorry, did Meghan Markle ask you not to mention me? So apparently they were celebrating their presenters and they completely omitted Piers Morgan. I mean, completely omitted him. He is not mentioned, not now time was he mentioned. Not now. So, oh, you want a warning? Okay, I'm going to have to try to find some kind of warning. Ugh. Ugh. All right. Okay, where was I? Right there. But yeah, Piers Morgan was left furious after being left out of the celebratory post, noting that the 10 best presenters Good Morning Britain has had over the years. The former GMB presenter took aim at the show after noticing he had been left out of the posting, honoring past and present hosts, ranting, "Did Meghan ask you not to mention me?" Piers unceremoniously left the Good Morning Britain news program in 2021 after 5 years following an infamous on-air row about Meghan. Anne. Well, they did a little typo there, didn't they? And okay, so here's what Piers Morgan said. Happy 10th anniversary to Good Morning Britain. I spent 5 fun, eventful years there and loved every minute. Here's a picture of me at my first April 13th, 2015, the last March of 2021 day. Divorce is never easy. I don't have the picture available here. I just added these because they make him look proper stupid. Have you kissed and made up with Alex yet? Someone asked him. Well, if you remember, Alex Beresford was one of the reasons why he stormed out of the studio that day. And Piers Morgan said that won't be happening. Now take a look there. There's Piers Morgan with Woo Woo, Dan Wooten, the sad little man. They seem to have both gone over to YouTube because they're not welcome on television anymore. And then there on the right side is another person who lost her position. Of course, Sharon Osbourne, who got fired on the same day as Piers Morgan. And the thing is, both of them fired themselves. They literally walked out of the studio. Piers Morgan stormed out of GMB like he was trying to set a new land speed record for a mammal on 2 feet. And then, of course, Sharon Osbourne, don't you dare cry. You better not cry. You better not. Don't you dare cry. Well, we know who was crying, don't we? Because she's the one who ran out the studio. She thought that people, I don't know what she thought. I really don't know what she thought. They hadn't even said anything, and she was so sure that she was about to be exposed as, the R word, that she just had this big meltdown. And there's Piers Morgan. I love when Alex said, "Oh, God, what do you, this is diabolical." Now, I don't know how many people use diabolical on any given day, but yeah, I guess that pretty much sums it up. It was diabolical. And right here, Piers Morgan, my vindication is a resounding victory for freedom of speech and a defeat for Princess Pinocchios who think we should all be compelled to believe every fork-tongued word they say. Now, do I get my job back? Nope. Nope. Nope, you don't get your job back. What he's speaking about is that I believe that Ofcom supported his right to free speech or something like that. Whatever it was that people had complained. And anyway, he was wondering if they did not fire you, fool. You ran out of the studio. Nobody fired you. He's the one that jumped out of his chair. I'm not going to take this. And then went storming out of there. So he was not fired. He walked out. They just refused to ask him to come back. So that's it, hoghead. It's over with. You're the one that ran out the studio. Oh, very cool. So anyway, blip, blip, blip. That's all, Piers. That's all, Piers. As Porky Pig would say, that's all. That's all, folks. Hoghead Piers Morgan. Blip, blip, blip. That's all, Piers. And lastly, we're going to end with this beast of a dress, this nightmare. Brave Sophie becomes the first British royal to visit Ukraine since the start of the war. Duchess of Edinburgh, meets President Zelensky and First Lady to pay respect to victims of Putin's invasion. Ooh, she was so brave. And the fact that she's a member of the royal family, that she is this very privileged individual, one of the most privileged anywhere in the world, that that she actually married into a family about 7 million pounds in the hole because of her failed PR firm. Now she's living in a massive house that doesn't cost anything for her or her husband. It doesn't cost anything. The taxpayers seem to have provided a way for her, although they pretend like it was private money, but we all know where the money comes from, sovereign grant, right? But anyway, that wealth that has accumulated within the Windsor family for hundreds of years, I suppose, is why it's so possible for her to live the lavish lifestyle that she enjoys. A police motorcade, and I mean the type of police escort that not only drives on the streets of Greater London and all across the countryside, sometimes they'll get right up on the pavement and chase down the pedestrians. Yeah. And anyway, as much as that country has been through, as much as they have suffered in Ukraine, the fact that they are the real heroes, they are the ones that are brave, because you have to have courage to survive seeing something as hideous as that dress. Yes, you're the strong one if your optical nerves are not singed looking at that hideous frock she's wearing. YM Joy says, was Sophie trying to blind the Russians with drab? Thank you, YM Joy. I think that was probably it. Or she is disguising herself as a self-contained botanical garden. Yeah, she is trying to disguise herself as either wallpaper or the Chelsea Flower Show. Yeah. Brave Sophie becomes the first British royal to visit Ukraine. The fact that she is escorted by armed soldiers as well as her usual royal protection officers, yeah, that was very brave of her. Of course, I was more impressed when the president of the United States showed up, not so much, Sophie Wessex. That barely gets any notice. They have some beautiful photos. I mean, if you could look past that dress, but they have beautiful photos. They have a nice little spread for her so that she can get all the attention. Oh, yeah. She is really causing it in that dress, right? You better work it, girl. What a hideous dress. Just when you think that she's put on the ugliest thing she could possibly lay hands on, then she showed up wearing that. It's a disgrace. It really is. A dress like that, it seems as though she has been found wanting in her character. And with that, you guys, we are done. Look like Black Queen has a birthday. Let's see here. Who is this? It's Jules C's birthday today. Well, happy birthday, Jules C, and many happy returns of the day. Thank you so much for spending part of your birthday with us. And thank you, moderators, for keeping this a safe space, as always. Okay. Let me see here. Okay. Nope, that's not it. Ooh, I know that's not it. I'm going to try that one. There we go. There we go. That's what I was looking for. That slide. And of course, when you see our queens, you know it's time to go. And you all know what I mean. So for Jules C's birthday, we'll let that be our last word for the day. A little dance off for Jules C's birthday, the way we usually celebrate. Hello. Hello. I think I'm out of practice with that. Hello, Ivy here. Okay. Hello, Ivy here. Hello, Ivy. Today is Lilibet Diana Mountbatten Windsor's birthday. Meet me at the Royal Sussex party. Church Nellie's gonna be there. All right, Ivy out. You know what? I have not come down from my high yet. As you know, All right, love you guys. I will see you all tomorrow. And remember to pray for our faves. Whatever Meghan chooses to do or not, we support her. And whatever Harry chooses to do or not, we support him as well. And of course, we're always going to be praying for them and Mama Doria, and of course, our children. So thank you. Love you guys. See you all tomorrow.